There are moments in the lives of saints that leave the world trembling. Moments when heaven lifts the veil just enough to reveal what truly lies behind the mysteries of the soul. Padre Pio, the humble Capuchin friar known for his stigmata and extraordinary spiritual gifts, lived many such moments. But among the visions he received, one stands out for its haunting depth, the vision of a nun who doubted God. Her story is not just a warning. It is a mirror held up to every believer who has ever wrestled with fear, questions, or a faith that felt fragile. Padre Pio once saw the soul of a woman consecrated to God, a nun who spent her life serving in silence, praying in chapels, teaching children, nursing the sick, and doing all the things that make a religious life appear beautiful from the outside. But behind her gentle smile and folded hands, she carried something she never dared to admit: doubt. Not a momentary doubt that comes and goes like passing shadows, but a quiet storm that followed her throughout her life. Her story begins not with dramatic rebellion or open sin, but with something much more subtle and dangerous: the fear that God might not be listening. To those around her, she was a model of devotion. She attended Mass daily, whispered her prayers at dawn, and followed her vows with discipline. But in the stillness of the night, when her room was dark and her heart was exposed, she battled questions she never voiced. Is God really here? Does he truly love me? What if my prayers are empty? What if my life doesn't matter? These questions dug deep into her soul, and because she hid them, they grew roots. Padre Pio, gifted with the ability to see beyond the veil, was once granted a vision of her soul after her death. What he witnessed was not condemnation, but confrontation. The moment when the soul must finally face the truth it hid from the world and from itself. In the vision, Padre Pio described seeing her soul in a state of profound sorrow. She stood before the fullness of God's light, and in that blinding truth, every shadow of her life was revealed. Not the sins of the body, but the wounds of the heart. Her doubt had not been evil, but the refusal to confront it had left scars that earthly life had never healed. It was not the doubt that endangered her soul, it was the silence. For years, she had feared that admitting her struggles would make her look weak or unworthy. She thought faith meant pretending, smiling, acting strong. But heaven does not ask for performances. It was not punishment. Heaven asked for honesty. Padre Pio watched as she underwent a deep and painful purification. But healing, the kind of healing that requires truth to finally come to the surface. In that sacred purification, she experienced every moment when she doubted God's love. Every time she prayed, while secretly believing nothing would change. Every time she worked for God, but feared he had abandoned her. But then something extraordinary happened. In the midst of sorrow came surrender. The soul of this nun finally let go of fear, of control, of the need to appear strong. In that moment of complete honesty before God, she did what she had never been able to do on earth. She trusted. Her surrender became the very key that opened her heart to the fire of God's mercy. Padre Pio described her journey as a powerful reminder of a truth many Christians forget. Heaven does not demand perfection. Heaven desires sincerity. God is not impressed by spotless appearances. He sees the battles we hide, the fears we bury, and the doubts we push aside. And he loves us not despite them, but through them. This nun's journey became a message from heaven to all who live with unspoken questions. Many believers walk through life thinking they must hide their struggles from God, as though faith has no room for weakness. But the saints teach us otherwise. Saint Therese confessed her spiritual dryness. Mother Teresa endured decades without feeling the presence of God. Even Padre Pio, with all his gifts, suffered moments of darkness, temptation, and spiritual trial. What separates spiritual growth from spiritual danger is not doubt, but denial. The soul Padre Pio saw had lived a life of sacrifice and service, but she had never allowed herself to confront the doubts that quietly shaped her relationship with God. Instead of bringing them to him, she buried them. Instead of seeking guidance, she hid behind discipline. Her heart was divided not because she lacked love for God, but because she feared vulnerability. And here lies the message for every Christian today. God does not ask for perfect faith, He asks for real faith. Real faith is not the absence of doubt. Real faith is bringing your doubts to God, kneeling before Him with the honesty of a child, and saying, "Lord, help my unbelief." Padre Pio understood this deeply. In his ministry, he encountered thousands of souls, sinners, believers, skeptics, religious men and women. What struck him most was not the difference between them, but the common human struggle to trust God completely. The vision of the nun revealed a powerful truth. Even those who serve God can wrestle with darkness. Holiness is not a shield against human fears. The habits, the rosaries, the vows, they shape the path, but they do not remove the battles of the heart. Every soul, no matter its calling, walks through seasons of shadow. But heaven receives sincerity. Heaven honors transparency. Heaven welcomes those who say, "God, I don't have all the answers, but I give you my heart." Padre Pio's vision ends not with fear, but with hope. The nun did not face eternal loss. She faced purification, a deep, loving cleansing that led her into surrender, and finally into God's embrace. Her journey became a testament to God's mercy, a reminder that His justice is always wrapped in compassion, and His love reaches even into the places we fear to expose. And for all who hear this story today, her experience becomes an invitation. If you are carrying doubts, talk to God. If you are afraid God has forgotten you, tell Him. If your prayers feel empty, whisper them anyway. If your faith feels fragile, offer Him your weakness. Padre Pio's vision teaches us that the soul's greatest danger is not doubt, but pretending. God can heal an honest heart, even a trembling one, but He cannot heal the wounds we refuse to bring to Him. The nun's story shows us that heaven is not for the flawless, it is for the sincere. So let her journey awaken something in you. Let it remind you that God sees your hidden fears, your private battles, your silent questions, and He loves you still. He waits not for your perfection, but for your surrender, the moment when you open your heart and let Him in. Because in the end, doubt does not drive God away, but honesty brings Him closer. We hope that this video has been to your liking. And if you like, do not forget to give a like. Share it and subscribe to our channel for more beautiful visions from Padre Pio. And if you want to know more about interesting topics, leave us your comments and suggestions. Until next time.